Most people wake up every morning with dreams. They dream about success. They dream about financial freedom. They dream about building something meaningful. They dream about changing their lives. But years pass. Nothing changes. The same routines. The same excuses. The same fears. And eventually, many people begin to believe that success is reserved for a special group of people. They look at entrepreneurs, innovators, and world changers and think, they are different. They were born with something I don't have. They got lucky. But that belief is one of the biggest lies ever created. The truth is that success is rarely about luck. Success is usually about decisions. Small decisions made every day. The decision to keep going when nobody believes in you. The decision to work when others are relaxing. The decision to learn when others are scrolling endlessly on their phones. The decision to stay focused while the world is full of distractions. Most people underestimate the power of these choices. They wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect opportunity. They wait for confidence. They wait for the right time. But the right time never arrives. Because successful people do not wait. They move, even when they are uncertain. Even when they are afraid. Even when they have no guarantee that things will work out. Think about it. Every great achievement in history started with uncertainty. Nobody knew whether it would succeed. Nobody had all the answers. Nobody had a perfect roadmap. Yet they moved forward anyway. And that is what separates dreamers from achievers. Dreamers imagine. Achievers act. The world is filled with people who have incredible ideas. Amazing ideas. Life-changing ideas. Million-dollar ideas. But ideas alone change nothing. Execution changes everything. You can spend years planning, years thinking, years preparing, and still remain exactly where you started. Meanwhile, someone with less talent, less experience, and fewer resources may surpass you simply because they took action. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates results. And results create opportunities. But most people never reach this stage. Why? Because they are trapped by fear. Fear of failure. Fear of criticism. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of rejection. Fear of making mistakes. Fear is one of the greatest dream killers on earth. It silently destroys potential. It convinces people to stay comfortable. It tells them to avoid risk. It whispers that safety is better than growth. But growth has never lived inside comfort. Every major breakthrough requires discomfort. Every transformation requires sacrifice. Every success story includes struggle. There is no shortcut. There is no secret path. There is no magical formula. The people who achieve extraordinary results simply become willing to do what others refuse to do. They become willing to stay disciplined, to stay patient, to stay focused, to keep moving forward long after excitement disappears. Because excitement is temporary, discipline is permanent. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. This is where most people lose the battle. They rely on feelings. When they feel motivated, they work. When they don't feel motivated, they stop. And because feelings constantly change, their progress constantly stops. Successful people operate differently. They don't ask themselves whether they feel like working. They work because the mission matters. They understand something powerful. Your future is built by what you do consistently, not occasionally. One great day will not change your life. One great week will not change your life. But years of consistent effort can completely transform your future. Imagine where you could be 1 year from now. Imagine where you could be 5 years from now. Imagine the skills you could develop, the knowledge you could gain, the opportunities you could create, the person you could become. Now imagine wasting those years. Imagine staying stuck. Imagine watching others achieve the goals you once dreamed about. Imagine realizing that fear stole your future. That realization is painful, and it happens to millions of people. Not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked action. Success does not belong to the smartest person. Success does not belong to the most talented person. Success often belongs to the person who refuses to quit. The person who keeps learning. The person who keeps improving. The person who keeps showing up. Day after day, month after month, year after year. And that is where everything begins. Not with perfection. Not with confidence. Not with guarantees. But with a decision. A decision to stop making excuses. A decision to stop waiting. A decision to stop doubting yourself. A decision to take the first step. Because the first step changes everything. And once you take that first step, your entire future can begin to move in a completely different direction. To be continued. There comes a moment in every person's life when they face a choice. A choice between comfort and growth. A choice between excuses and responsibility. A choice between remaining the same or becoming something greater. Most people never realize how powerful that moment truly is. Because it doesn't arrive with dramatic music. It doesn't arrive with a perfect opportunity. It doesn't arrive when everything is finally ready. It arrives quietly, and for most people, it passes unnoticed. They continue living the same day over and over again. The same habits, the same routines, the same excuses. Months become years, years become decades, and before they know it, life has moved on. One of the biggest reasons people never achieve their dreams is because they underestimate time. They think they have plenty of it. They believe tomorrow will always be available. They tell themselves they will start next week, next month, next year. But successful people understand something different. They understand that time is the most valuable resource in existence. Money can be recovered, opportunities can return, mistakes can be fixed, but time never comes back. Every day that passes is a day removed from your future. Every hour matters. Every decision matters. Every action matters. The people who accomplish extraordinary things do not necessarily have more talent. They simply become more intentional with their time. While others waste hours complaining, they are building. While others are distracted, they are learning. While others are waiting for permission, they are creating opportunities. And this difference compounds over time. At first, the results are invisible. Nobody notices. Nobody applauds. Nobody celebrates. It may even look like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, progress is occurring. Skills are growing. Knowledge is expanding. Confidence is increasing. Experience is accumulating. Then one day, the results become impossible to ignore. People suddenly call it overnight success. But it was never overnight. It was years of invisible effort. Years of sacrifice. Years of persistence. Years of showing up when nobody was watching. This is the part most people never see. They see the victory. They don't see the struggle. They see the success. They don't see the setbacks. They see the destination. They don't see the journey. Every successful person has faced obstacles. Every successful person has experienced failure. Every successful person has doubted themselves at some point. The difference is that they did not allow those moments to define them. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every mistake teaches a lesson. Every setback reveals a weakness. Every challenge develops strength. The problem is that most people treat failure as a stop sign. Successful people treat failure as a teacher. When something goes wrong, they learn. When they fall down, they stand up. When a door closes, they search for another one. They understand that persistence is more powerful than talent. Think about how many people quit too early. They quit after one failure. They quit after one rejection. They quit after one difficult season. They never give themselves enough time to grow. Growth takes time. Success takes time. Mastery takes time. The strongest trees in the world were not built overnight. They survived storms. They survived harsh seasons. They survived years of pressure. And because of that pressure, they became stronger. Human beings are no different. Your challenges are not always there to stop you. Sometimes they are there to prepare you. The struggle you are experiencing today may be developing the strength you will need tomorrow. The obstacles in front of you may be teaching lessons that success alone could never teach. That is why resilience is so important. Resilience means continuing when things become difficult. Resilience means refusing to surrender. Resilience means maintaining belief even when results are slow. Most people are enthusiastic at the beginning. Very few remain committed during the difficult middle. But the difficult middle is where champions are created. It is where character is built. It is where discipline is developed. It is where dreams become reality. Anyone can be excited for a few days. Anyone can be motivated for a week. The real challenge is staying committed for years. Because greatness requires consistency, not perfection. Consistency. You do not need to be perfect every day. You simply need to keep moving forward. Small improvements every day create extraordinary results over time. A single step may seem insignificant. But thousands of steps can take you anywhere in the world. Never underestimate the power of daily progress. Never underestimate the impact of one productive hour. Never underestimate the value of learning one new skill. These small actions may seem insignificant today, but they are quietly shaping your future. Every successful life is built one day at a time, one decision at a time, one habit at a time. And if you can master your daily habits, you can transform your entire future. Because success is not an event. Success is a process repeated every single day. And the people who understand this truth gain an enormous advantage over everyone else. While others search for shortcuts, they focus on improvement. While others seek instant results, they focus on consistency. While others quit, they continue. And eventually, the gap becomes impossible to close. Because persistence always defeats hesitation. Action always defeats excuses. And discipline always defeats regret. To be continued. Most people spend their entire lives looking for the perfect opportunity. They believe success is hiding somewhere outside of themselves. A better job, a better city, a better economy, a better situation, a better moment. And because they are constantly waiting for ideal conditions, they never begin. But the truth is simple. There will never be a perfect time. There will never be a perfect situation. There will never be a perfect moment. Every successful person started before they felt ready. They started while they were uncertain. They started while they were afraid. They started while they were still learning. Because waiting for perfection is one of the most dangerous forms of procrastination. Perfection creates delay. Delay creates excuses. Excuses create regret. And regret becomes one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. Imagine reaching the end of your life and realizing you never gave your dreams a real chance. Not because you lacked talent. Not because you lacked intelligence. But because you kept waiting. Waiting for confidence. Waiting for approval. Waiting for certainty. The people who accomplish extraordinary things understand something powerful. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build. Every action creates confidence. Every challenge you overcome creates confidence. Every obstacle you survive creates confidence. That is why action must come first. Many people believe successful individuals never feel fear. That is not true. Everyone feels fear. The difference is that successful people learn how to move despite it. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking action while fear is still present. And every time you act despite fear, you become stronger. Every time you face uncertainty, you grow. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, your world expands. Growth and comfort cannot exist in the same place. You must choose one. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels familiar. Comfort feels easy. But comfort rarely changes lives. The greatest achievements happen outside the boundaries of comfort. This is where most people get trapped. They choose short-term comfort instead of long-term success. They choose entertainment instead of education. Distraction instead of focus. Convenience instead of discipline. And years later, they wonder why their lives never changed. Your future is created by your daily choices. Not your intentions. Not your wishes. Not your dreams alone. Your choices. What you do today matters. What you repeat every day matters even more. The habits you practice are quietly building your future. Whether you realize it or not. Every day you are becoming someone. The question is, who are you becoming? Are your habits moving you closer to your goals? Or further away? Are your daily actions creating opportunities? Or creating limitations? These questions are uncomfortable, but they are necessary. Because responsibility is where transformation begins. The moment you stop blaming circumstances, everything changes. The moment you stop blaming other people, everything changes. The moment you take ownership of your future, everything changes. Ownership is power. Ownership means understanding that your life is ultimately your responsibility. Not someone else's. Yours. This realization can feel intimidating. But it is also incredibly freeing. Because if your choices created your current situation, your choices can also create a better future. You are not trapped. You are not finished. You are not limited by your past mistakes. Your past does not define your future. Your decisions do. Every new day gives you another opportunity to improve. Another opportunity to learn. Another opportunity to grow. Another opportunity to become stronger. The people who succeed understand this. They do not waste energy wishing they could change the past. They focus on creating a better future. They ask themselves powerful questions. What can I learn? How can I improve? What action can I take today? How can I become better than I was yesterday? These questions create progress, because progress begins in the mind before it appears in reality. The quality of your life is deeply connected to the quality of your thinking. Negative thinking creates limitations. Positive thinking creates possibilities. But successful people go beyond positive thinking. They practice productive thinking. They focus on solutions. They focus on growth. They focus on action. When problems appear, they search for answers. When obstacles appear, they search for opportunities. When challenges appear, they search for lessons. This mindset changes everything, because life will always contain difficulties. Challenges are unavoidable. Obstacles are inevitable. Setbacks are guaranteed. But your response to those challenges determines your future. Two people can face the same obstacle. One quits. One grows stronger. One sees defeat. One sees opportunity. One stays stuck. One moves forward. The difference is not the obstacle. The difference is the mindset. And mindset can be developed. Every day, every choice, every challenge, you have more control than you think, more potential than you realize, and more opportunities ahead than you can currently see. The journey may be difficult. The road may be uncertain. The results may take time. But if you continue moving forward, continue learning, continue improving, and continue believing in your ability to grow, there is no limit to what you can become. The future belongs to those who refuse to stop. To be continued. There is a powerful truth that most people discover far too late. Your life changes the moment you stop searching for easy and start pursuing meaningful. The modern world is filled with distractions. Endless entertainment, endless scrolling, endless noise. Every day, something is competing for your attention. And attention is one of the most valuable assets you possess. Because whatever captures your attention eventually shapes your future. If you spend your days distracted, your future becomes distracted. If you spend your days learning, your future becomes stronger. If you spend your days improving, your future begins to transform. The challenge is that distractions are easy. Growth is difficult. Entertainment is easy. Discipline is difficult. Excuses are easy. Responsibility is difficult. And because humans naturally move toward comfort, many people spend years choosing what is easy. But easy comes with a hidden cost. The cost is unrealized potential. The cost is missed opportunities. The cost is becoming less than what you could have been. Deep down, most people know they are capable of more. They feel it. They sense it. There is a voice inside them that says they were meant for something greater. Yet many ignore that voice. Not because they are weak, but because pursuing greatness requires sacrifice. It requires patience. It requires effort. It requires persistence. And most importantly, it requires belief. Belief is powerful. Before anyone else believes in your dream, you must believe in it first. Before the world sees your potential, you must see it first. Before success becomes visible, belief must become stronger. Many people quit because they expect immediate results. They work hard for a few weeks, a few months, sometimes even a year. Then they become discouraged when success does not arrive quickly. What they fail to understand is that extraordinary goals often require extraordinary patience. The greatest achievements are rarely built in days. They are built in years. Brick by brick, step by step, lesson by lesson, failure by failure, victory by victory. This is why patience is a competitive advantage. Most people give up before the breakthrough arrives. They stop just before the opportunity appears. They quit just before their skills improve. They surrender just before the results begin. And because they stop too soon, they never discover what was possible. Never underestimate the power of staying in the game. The person who continues often defeats the person with greater talent. The person who remains focused often surpasses the person with greater intelligence. The person who refuses to quit often wins. Not because they are special, but because they stayed committed longer than everyone else. Commitment creates momentum. Momentum creates progress. Progress creates confidence. Confidence creates bigger actions. And bigger actions create bigger results. Everything begins with a decision. A decision to commit. A decision to stay consistent. A decision to continue even when motivation disappears. Because motivation is unreliable. Some days you will feel inspired. Some days you will not. Some days you will feel unstoppable. Some days you will feel exhausted. That is normal. What matters is continuing anyway. The people who create extraordinary lives understand that success is not built on emotions. Success is built on standards. Standards determine behavior. Behavior determines actions. Actions determine results. If your standards are high, your actions improve. If your actions improve, your future improves. This is why successful people hold themselves accountable. They expect more from themselves. They demand more from themselves. Not because they are perfect, but because they understand their potential. Potential is one of the most valuable gifts a human being can possess. Yet potential means nothing without action. The world is full of talented people who never acted. Gifted people who never committed. Capable people who never believed. Their potential remained unused. Do not allow that to become your story. Do not spend your life wondering what could have happened. Do not allow fear to write your future. Do not allow doubt to control your decisions. The future is created by those who take responsibility for it. Those who embrace challenges. Those who continue learning. Those who continue growing. Those who continue moving forward when others stop. Remember this: every successful person was once unknown. Every expert was once a beginner. Every champion was once struggling. Every achievement started with a single step. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is crossed one decision at a time. One action at a time. One day at a time. You do not need to change your entire life overnight. You simply need to begin. Then continue. Then continue again. Keep learning. Keep improving. Keep believing. Keep moving forward. And one day, the life you once imagined will become the life you are living. Not because of luck. Not because of perfect circumstances. But because you made a decision that most people never make. You refused to quit, and that decision changed everything. The end.